Friends, I've recently returned from the Republic of Perpetual Improvement, where the air is thick with plans and the citizens are thin with outcomes. They elect their officials from a rare and dangerous breed known as the devoted. Now, the devoted is a politician who has sworn a solemn oath to pursue power with such zeal that there is no time remaining for the petty housework of governing. It's a noble calling, for it spares the office holder from the back-breaking labor of fixing anything. The devoted carry with them a small brass instrument called a moral altimeter, which can measure the elevation of their own virtue down to 6 decimal places. By this device, they are forever ascending. If the people complain about the lack of roads, the devoted consult the altimeter and announce that the roads are a material concern and therefore low. What the nation truly requires, they declare, is an ambitious program to rearrange the climate and retouch the human soul. The citizens, who had only asked that their wagons stop breaking axles, apologize for being so small. Among the devoted, there are two respectable sects, the extractors and the redistributors. The extractors are entrepreneurs of authority. They produce very little except rules, which they manufacture in great smoky factories and sell wholesale to the redistributors, who apply the rules to the citizenry with a loving hand. Each sect despises the other in public and the treasury in private. The devoted keep a cabinet of infinite tasks, problems which, by design, admit of no conclusion. These are prized for their inexhaustibility. A pothole is a shame, for it can be filled. But a cosmic inequalities? That is a treasure without bottom. Men will grow old addressing it. Their sons will take up the shovel. Their grandsons will inherit the committee chair. The cabinet is supervised by the Department of Measured Catastrophes. Its clerks are trained in the new arithmetic, by which numbers are never so rude as to settle. If a figure threatens to become definite, it is promptly surrounded with context until it dissolves into virtue. The department has discovered, for example, that the safest way to measure success is to define it as a conversation. A conversation being infinite, success cannot be accused of ending. Meanwhile, there is also a Bureau of Tangible Troubles, the dull office on the wrong side of the river where tiresome matters like human trafficking, street crime, collapsing schools, and other vulgarities present themselves with receipts and names. The devoted visit on ceremonial occasions, remark upon the tragedy, and return to the cabinet where the catastrophes are cleaner and the fundraising speeches more aromatic. The nation's producers, those stubborn mechanics of reality who grow food, build houses, raise children, and otherwise molest matter, are an unhandsome complication. They persist in asking whether results will ever arrive, like diners at a restaurant whose waiter keeps delivering manifestos. The devoted are patient with them, for every milk cow must be treated kindly even when it kicks. Taxes are described as gratitudes, tips paid to the musicians who assure us the music is improving, even though the hall is silent. Now, in any well run republic, producers may become restless when their milk is praised more than poured. They have several remedies. The first and most courteous is emigration. They rise and leave for less enlightened pastures, where men of ordinary appetites still eat ordinary bread. The second is abstention. They remain but decline to produce, having learned the economy of nothing. The third is ancient and grave, and we will not discuss it. Civilization is a narrow bridge, and I do not care to bounce upon it. The devoted, observing these desertions, do not ask whether their regime is discouraging production. They convene a symposium on the moral duties of milk. We must have a conversation, they say, about the social responsibilities of cows. The cows, having moved to another country, send their regards. I inquired whether the Republic possessed any statesmen, an old-fashioned curiosity of mine. We do not keep those, replied a devoted of high standing. A statesman is an artisan of limits, a tedious fellow who weighs costs, counts votes, trims speeches, and leaves a ledger that one can audit. Such men cannot soar. We prefer visionaries. A visionary does not stoop to problems. He ascends to narratives. I ask whether narratives put out fires. Not always, he admitted, but they make smoke agreeable. To be fair, the devoted are not without courage. It requires nerve to stand upon a scaffolding of abstractions and lecture the bricklayer about gravity. And it takes fortitude to govern in this subjunctive mode, where nothing is, but everything might be, if only you would clap louder. I attended a rally where a celebrated devoted announced a new national ambition to abolish all ailments of the heart by order of the head. The crowd cheered, a choir sang, and a committee was formed at once to outlaw sorrow. The committee is still in session. Meanwhile, a mother asked whether her city might prosecute the men who buy and sell children. Certainly, replied a devoted. After the symposium on the ethics of happiness, we must address the root causes. Roots being under the ground, the devoted are comforted not to see them. Someone will ask, as they always do, whether I favor capitalists or communists. I have no taste for either extreme when it comes to the devoted's appetite for dominion. A capitalist who forgets the customer soon learns about bankruptcy. A commissar who forgets the citizen learns more slowly, for the lessons are delivered by history in bulk. My preference is for more men and women who do work that can be weighed on a scale and checked with a clock. They're boring. God bless them. They repair the bridge while the devoted rename the river. The reader will protest that I have been uncharitable and some improvements are necessary and some abstractions noble. I concede it freely. But a nation cannot live forever on poetic calories. The stomach keeps its own books. When talk becomes the staple and production the garnish, shortages arrive with perfect punctuality. And the devoted, who cannot bake bread, discover a sudden passion for rationing it. At last, the Republic of Perpetual Improvement delivered its greatest innovation, a holiday from consequences. On this day, every year, the cabinet announces a fresh initiative to reimagine something that once worked. The department produces a new yardstick that reaches to the horizon, and the bureau on the wrong side of the river closes early for lack of staff. The people cheer because cheering is free, for now, and the devoted ascend another half-inch on the moral altimeter. Before I departed, an old farmer took my sleeve. You've seen their speeches, he said. I have, I told him. You've read their plans. Most of them. He spat, which was his punctuation. Then think it all the way through. I did what he asked and discovered the devoted secret. They are not steering toward a destination, but rather away from accountability. They do not aim to solve, but to supervise. For a solved problem retires, and a retired problem yields no tribute. The most dangerous thing you can do to a devoted is to hand them a wrench. If you wish to know whether your own town is in the Republic, perform this simple test. Ask a devoted to show you one thing, just one, that has been made better and can be demonstrated without adjectives. If he hands you a chart with no numbers, lock your pantry. If he hands you a brochure, hide your children. If, by some miracle, he hands you a receipt for a job completed and a bill under budget, shake his hand and keep him. You've stumbled upon a statesman, which is rarer than a comet and less noisy. As for the rest, I advise only this. Mind your plow, count your chickens, keep your shop honest, help your neighbor, and vote for the man or woman who can read a balance sheet without weeping. Beware the ones who promise to repaint the sky. The sky does not need them, and neither do you. As always, do your part by doing your best.